What is going on, guys? I'm today's from TCG Enthusiast, and about 2 weeks ago, Metazoo had their first official Casters Cup tournament over at Collecticon Dallas. Aside from the incredible prize support, Metazoo is doing quite a bit to change up the competitive scene. During day one, casters were allowed to bring in their own fourth wall items, which is why you see so many players with a plant at their table. I'm guessing growth probably had something to do with that. Day 2, however, was where things would start to get interesting. The top 32 participants competed in a format called Blitz, where Metazoo created a completely unique environment that casters would be competing in. Being the first TCG where your surroundings have a significant impact on gameplay, this had a huge effect on how players approach the rest of the tournament. Not only were the environments that the Metazoo team created awesome to look at, they were probably a blast to play in. A big shout out to the top 3 competitors, Dominic, Dylan, and Easton, as well as everyone else who competed in this tournament. Everyone played like champs, and it was a blast to watch you guys over on Twitch. Also a big shout out to the Metazoo team, the staff, the artists, and anyone who worked the event. You guys made it experience for everyone over on Twitch, and I'm sure it was a true memorable experience for everyone who competed in the tournament as well. I want to make a quick transition over to a podcast that we recorded about a month ago. Like I said, I'm a little behind on editing all this content, so let's jump into the podcast where we covered the Casters Cup in a little more detail.
Casters Cup, is that where we're starting?
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about the Casters Cup, I'm not gonna lie.
Casters Cup? What the heck is the Casters Cup?
Alright, so glad you asked there, John. So for those of you who don't know what the Casters Cup even is, so at the end of May in Collecticon in Dallas, there will be a tournament where you can play Metazoo and win a whole lot of money.
Just a little bit of money.
Just a little bit.
Just only like $250,000 worth of prizes and tons of other stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a little bit of money.
So yeah, so $250,000 in prizes. So this, we've heard that there's like, so I believe there's like other packs, right? So you can get like player packs, right? So they can be like stamped like cards that you can only get by participating in the tournament. Mm-hmm. I think there's also like staff packs. So like if you work the event, you get like, like staff packs.
That one I actually haven't heard of yet.
Yeah, and I actually think there's like a third one. I think there's like winner. Like again, there's like all these different types of packs, like I said, that you can get that have like different stamps. So by one token, that's like pretty awesome. From another token, it kind of like creates like a little dilution, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like in the sense of like there's so many different stamps of like the same cards. I mean,
true.
Presuming they're the same cards.
Yeah, I mean, do I want the spoiler Mishipeshu? Do I want the Collecticon stamp Mishipeshu? Do I want the
playtester?
The competitor stamp Mishipeshu?
Do I want the staff one? Do I want the playtester one?
Do I want the
saying?
Wilderness Pink Club Mishipeshu? Like, yeah, I see what you're saying there with the cards being diluted.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't really know if that's fully the case, because you might have those individuals who prefer a certain stamp over another, which is another chase for those particular collectors.
That's true. I do like my alternate arts.
Let's talk about the tournament itself, right? The tournament itself. Really, I mean, I feel like the headline of this has to be competitive play for Metazoo.
Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, that's like what this is like. The goal of this tournament is to progress competitive play.
With just the prize pool alone, you're going to start bringing in a lot of Magic the Gathering players, a lot of like
Yu-Gi-Oh,
even poker players, dude. Like just people that would normally
make money?
never be interested in playing a card game like Metazoo, but it's a little, like I said, it's a little bit of money, so that is definitely going to catch people's attention.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's one of the things that being a newer game, right? I think kind of like narrative is like, oh, nobody plays this. Well, that kind of like makes it really level playing field in terms of like anybody could
Eventually start playing like,
and win this tournament, right, and make a lot of money, right? So in order to play, you have to have competed in a tournament, one legitimate tournament. I think one's like a sanctioned tournament. Is that what the deal is?
I think you had to win like a couple of rounds as well too. There were certain things you had to do to qualify. Yeah, because
they have very strict rules then.
Yeah, you for sure have to have played. Like we all played in Houston.
Right.
So that'll count.
Well, what are they using for credential proof of that?
Remember we logged out.
Oh, that's right.
And it was all seated in the website.
They probably use the same login. Yep.
Yeah. So you have like a tag, like an ID. And for all the people who say that no one plays Metazoo, would it be crazy to say that like 1,000 people show up to this tournament? Is that like a crazy number? I mean,
I mean, I don't
what do
think
you
it's.
think?
I don't think it's that.
tournaments. Is that like an insane number? Or is that like possible?
I wonder if they're gonna cap it off because like just the tournament that we participated in, and this was last year in
Took
October,
forever.
right? Yeah,
Took all day.
It capped off at like 60 people. There was too many people trying to get in. So
Yeah. And even then, it like took all day. Like I said.
They had like an early bird set number of how many people, and then after that, you're right, they put a cap on like 60 or something.
Yeah,
like that. And that, as you mentioned, was back in October of last year.
Yeah,
so it's completely changed. Since then.
we're 2 sets ahead of that now. Metazoo's a lot bigger than it was back then, so the tournament's going to be significantly bigger, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, again,
And it's gonna be different too, guys. The meta's gonna be crazy, guys.
Yeah,
there's
because
like dual color auras now. With the prism aura, like there's just so much stuff going on now, and I think that there's gonna be a lot of
decks you've never seen before.
A lot of creativity in this tournament. So expect some unique and different stuff.
And that's what makes it so fun, right? Because again, I haven't played as much as you have, but I know that like even like seeing like these new like every set comes out and like it completely is like. Look what I can do now with my deck, like, oh my. So I gotta ask you as a player, so in terms of the Caster Cup, obviously I know the decks, kind of leading up into Wilderness, where you saw a lot of water, you saw, Lightning is always pretty competitive, you were seeing, some Ice, I know was one that some people were trying to run.
Ice was big.
Darkness occasionally,
was
you would see.
in there with
Wilderness has come out, I know obviously we still have the April Fool's blisters and stuff like that to come out, a couple things that we're missing in terms of like that could pertain to the meta. What do you see? Anything different slotting in there in the meta? Anything that like has like taken another leap forward? Like what's your initial take on it?
I'm still going through all the cards right now that I've opened, and I'm still deciding whether I want to put this into a monocolored deck or if I want to try something completely different and like start mixing 2 or maybe even 3 colors now. There's just tons of different ideas and stuff that I want to mess around with first before I start like saying what I think is really strong in the meta. Who knows, man? Who knows what we're going to see? But the Casters Cup for sure, the best players in the world are going to be there, so the best decks are going to be featured there as well.
Dude, what an advantage it must be to be in like places like Texas where you can actually like meet with people and like play these games. That's why I feel like tabletop simulators maybe your best friend in this situation, leading up the decks to try decks out. If you're fortunate enough to be able to meet up with like have a group of friends you can get in and play, like what an advantage to be able to like actually trial some decks out, you know what I mean? Because again, like
I'm excited as Metazoo starts to get bigger for competitive play and more officially sanctioned tournaments to be supported in your LGSs, because right now I mostly just play Magic the Gathering. It's really hard to find pickup games, but definitely like I'm excited for what the future holds.
So that is going to put a wrap on it here for us today. Again, I want to apologize real quick. I'm the video editor and I know it's taken me quite a bit of time to get these videos out, but we do have a lot lined up, a lot of content headed your way. So I appreciate you guys checking this out and I will catch you on the next one. Have a good one, guys.